Okay, so our goal in this problem is to find out what is I1 and I2. So our goal is to find out I1 and then I2. Okay, and I will use mesh analysis for solving this problem. Mesh analysis. Okay, the first thing that we need to do to use mesh analysis is to label all the loops. And let's see what can we get from the circuit here. We have given I1 is the current on this loop here, and then I2 is the current on this loop here. But we need to define one more loops in this space here. So I think I will define this here as loop I3. So that is natural way, right? Because this is I1 and then this is I2. So I will have I3 here. And I think that's all for labeling all the loops. We can move on to the second step, which is to do KVL for unknown loops. But all loops is unknown, right? I1 is unknown, I2 is unknown, and then I3 is unknown. So we need to do KVL on all the loops. Let's exactly do that. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to do KVL at loop I1. Okay, KVL said that the sum of the voltage in a loop will equal to 0. So that is the Kirchhoff voltage law. But one thing about KVL is we have to be very careful about the sign here. Let's start from this 10-volt voltage source. Here the current is flowing like this. So in this branch here, the current will flow like this. But then for the current that flowing like this, the current enters the voltage source into the negative terminal because it flows from the negative terminal to positive terminal. From the negative terminal, that will be negative sign here. And we already have the voltage here, which is 10 volt. So we will have 10 here. Good. And I think this is for I1. Okay, so now let's move on to the second component here, which is this 4 ohm resistor. Okay, because the current goes clockwise, here we will have it goes down like this, right? So we will have plus 4. But then we also have another current that goes past through this 4 ohm resistor, which is I2 here, right? So I1 is going down, I2 is going up. But then we are currently working on I1 here. So I1 came first. So we will have I1. And here I2 is flowing to the opposite direction. So we will have minus I2. Good. Now let's move on to the last component in the loop I1. So that is this voltage source of 3 volt. Okay, the current is flowing from the positive terminal and the value is 3 volt. So we will have plus, right? Plus because it came from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. And it's already on voltage, so we will have 3 volt there. Okay, let's save this as equation. It's equal to 0. Not yet. Okay, maybe let's simplify things. Let's distribute this 4 here. So we'll have 4I1 and then minus 4I2. Minus 10 plus 3 is minus 7. So I will have it equal to 0. Let's move this 7 to the right hand side. So we'll have 4I1 and then minus 4I2. That will equal to 7. Good. And I think nothing more that we can do. Let's save this as equation number 1. Good. Now let's move on to KVL at loop I2. KVL at I2. Again, KVL said that the sum of the voltage in a loop will equal to 0. Let's start from this 4 ohm resistor here. The current is going up. So we'll have 4 But now we are working on I2, right? So we'll have I2. But here, I1 is flowing to the opposite direction. So I will have minus I1. And then let's move on to this 5 ohm resistor. So the current will flow like this, right? Remember, this is clockwise. So we will have plus 5. And the only current that pass through it is I2. And again, the same case for here. For 9 ohm here, we also have plus 9. And the only current that pass through it is I2. And for the last component here, I will have this 10 ohm resistor. So from this point of view, the current will goes to the left, but that also have another current that goes into the opposite direction, which is I3, like this. And I think let's move this slightly to the left because I ran out of space, I think. Yeah. And so we will have plus, the value of the resistor is 10, but now we are working on I2. So I3 here is flowing to the opposite direction, so we'll have minus I3. Okay, all of that will equal to 0. Good. Now what can we do from here? Let's distribute this 4. So we'll have 4I2 minus 4I1. And then I will have plus this one, 5 plus 9, that will be 14, right? 14I2. And then we will have plus 10I2 minus 10I3. All of that will equal to 0. And then I think I will have minus 4I1, right? I1 only comes from that. And then I2 is 4 plus 14 plus 10. So we will have 18 plus 10, 28, right? So we will have 28I2. And lastly, we will have minus 10I3. All of that will equal to 0. Let's save this as equation number 2. Good. Now let's move on to the last loop, which is I3. So let's do KVL at I3. Again, KVL said that the sum of the voltage in a loop will equal to 0. Let's start from this component, 3-volt voltage source, and the current here will go like this, right? Because I3 is going up. And that means that the current is flowing from the negative terminal to positive terminal. So we will have negative sign. We will have minus 3 here. And then let's move on to that 10 ohm resistor. But here we are working on I3. So I3 came first. However, I2 is flowing to the opposite direction. So we'll have minus I2. Good. Now let's move on to this 1 ohm resistor. So we'll have plus 1. And then the only current that passes through it is I3. Good. And now we will have plus 7. And the only current that passes through it is I3. All of that will equal to 0. Good. Now let's distribute this 10. So we'll have 10I3 minus 10I2. And then 1 plus 7, that will becomes 8. And minus 3, let's move it to the right hand side. And so we will have minus 10I2 is equal to, no, not equal, plus 18I3, that will equal to 3. And now we have our third equation. Now we have 3 equations and 3 variables, 1, 2, and 3. All we need to do now is to solve the equation. We need to solve the equation. And I think I will use the fastest way to do it, which is to use calculator. Okay, but our slide is full. Maybe let's clean this up first. Okay, here we have 3 equations and 3 variables, and I think it is easier for us to see it in the matrix form. So let's write it in the matrix form here. Let's write out the coefficients. So I'll have 4 and then minus 4. But remember, we also have I3 here. So I will have 0 here. Then we will have minus 4 and then 28 and then minus 10. And then for the last equation, I will have 0 because we don't have I1 components here. And then we will have minus 10 and then 18. So we will have this multiplied by, this is I1, and this is I2, and this is I3. Good. And that will equal to, this one will be 7, and then 0, and then 3. Good. Now let's use calculator to solve this. Let's solve the equation. Let's press this button here. Equation solver is number 5. And we need 3 variables, which is number 2. Good. Now let's just input the first row. We will have 4 minus 4 and then 0. And then the result will be 7. Good. And now we will have minus 4, 28, minus 10, and then 0. Good. And then 0, minus 10, and then 18, and then 3. And we will have our x value as I1 here. So that is our I1. So I1 is 2.20. I think 2.220. Yeah. I1 is equal to 2.220. And I think the unit will be ampere because all the units is in SI unit. So this one will be in ampere. And then what is I2? I2 is the Y value, right? So we will have that value here. So we will have 0.470. Yeah, I think 0.470. 0.470. And the unit here will be in ampere. But then what is I3? I3 is the Z component, right? So we will have 0.428. 0.428 ampere. And what is our goal? We are asked about I1 and I2. So I1 is this value here, and I2 is this value here. So I think we have achieved our goal. And that's all. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.